a church minister, and I have a BBL.
There is a need to separate religion from God.
A church minister, and I have a BBL. I would describe my look, I would say I'm like Black Barbie, the baddest. I became a church minister when I was 28. I didn't decide to become a church minister. God called me to become a church minister. I haven't always been religious. It kind of just started to align to my purpose and who I was at that time.
This lady being a church minister and having a BBL, I don't see anything wrong with that. Unless her religion does not believe in altering the body. Now, it seems like she's a Christian. I don't know what denomination, which also raises some more things we could talk about. But honestly, there is a need for people to separate God from religion, right? Knowing God or understanding God, following God, you don't need a religion for that. Actually, truly, you shouldn't, to me personally, follow just systems. You should know within yourself. Now, I've always said in this world, there are leaders and there are followers. Religion, I think, is more based on followers, right? If you are a follower, you should get into a religion. If you feel that you need support, it's just like somebody going on a health path. You can either do it on your own or you can get a trainer. Nothing wrong with either one, right? But just know that if your trainer isn't the best trainer or doesn't understand your body fully, you could be on that journey, make a couple of mistakes and things like that long run, as opposed to you could also go on your own, trying to figure it out, and it could also take that same time. My thing is, there's nothing wrong with her altering her body or doing whatever, but the thing is, I think, especially in Christian religion, and I think the Islamic religions, actually, to be honest, all religions, most religions, there are always, individuals or teachings that make it seem like you have to be exactly a certain way. Now, I've always said, whatever works for you, do that. There's no judgments here, right? But do not think that somebody not being a part of a religion means they do not know God or they're not as spiritual as you. In the very first place, anybody that thinks that religion is the way to knowing God, I think that's already an L, right? You already failed in the mission, because first you should know God, and then you should think of if you want to, join a religion or if that works best for you. Because as we've clearly just talked about, these are two separate things. You can also be led the wrong way, thinking that this is for you and this is that and that, and you can easily get led the wrong way with religion. On your own as well, you can go the wrong way, but the difference is that when you're on your own, each step you take is educating you yourself, as well as, your search for God or your journey, right? And this is the thing. Some people go from one religion to another, one teaching to another, one practice to another, all in search, because regardless, we are all in search of, what makes our souls feel more fulfilled. So in her situation, clearly, from what I just explained, if her religion goes against altering the body, then, as I said, I don't know what her religion, I'm talking about what sect of Christianity, which I think, of course, that is, that of its own kind of, puts some more dilemma to it, right? Because don't forget, religions are practices, right? It has little to do with God itself or in pursuit of God itself, but rather practices, to keep you within this community of individuals that believe similar things as you, right? You don't have to be chasing God. You could just be trying to chase a better life, just living better ways. That's the thing, right? So no judgments, no hate, no discrimination. I just always advise people first, if you want to know within yourself, you want to know, have some kind of structure, you can do it on your own. If you feel you can't do it on your own, then yes, get help, which is the religion I'm talking about. But if you know within yourself that you can handle this, you can do this on your own, I don't see a need to go tie yourself down to one religion, because honestly, all these religions, majority of them, if not all of them, seem to be teaching the same thing. Love the next person as though it was you, as though they were yourself, not just your brother, because some people are not even good to their brothers or sisters and all, right? So ultimately the message is the same. Treat everybody the same way you want to be treated, right? You know, there's a God within all of us. But this, I'm saying for most religions, and we trying to connect that God across, you know, everybody is kind of how oneness will be achieved, right? So I definitely, personally, not within the BBL thing, I don't think if you understand that there's a God within you, you'll be willing to or wanting to change your body, alter your body. But then again, someone will say, then why go to the gym to bulk up or cut and do all this together, you know? So it's all left to personal description. This is kind of why I said the journey is personal, right? But we should definitely, because a lot of people, you know, of course, as you know, especially when it comes to Christianity and a couple of all these major religions, there's a lot of judgment. Why would she do this? And how is she calling herself a baddie? Doesn't that mean she's, you know, saying she's bad, you know, so on and so forth? And because there's been a whole thing, you know, of the lipstick and the makeup and, you know, so there's a lot of these conversations to be had. But that's why I say the journey is personal. Once you make it a group journey, then, you know, the group tends to want to influence your decision and all that. Not knocking anybody. As I said, what works best for you? If you need a trainer, your, you know, health pursuit, or can you do it on your own? You can, both of them are okay, right? But also knowing when this trainer doesn't work best for you or this trainer is not for you, you switch trainers. Same way anybody that's chasing God on their own, once the practice that they're doing, you know, doesn't compute anymore in their brain, they move to the next practice. So I don't see any, you know, I just think we are all on the same journey, trying to figure this whole thing out. And there should be no judgments whatsoever, because as we understand, all these things, religions, pursuit of God, everything is based on faith, not tangible proof, not something you can hold in your hand and say, yes, I know. You don't know, right? It's all about, we don't know. We're trying to figure it out to see if we're right, if we're wrong. And this is kind of the whole thing. So, you know, understanding that we are all the same, all on this journey together, I think is what, you know, put us at that next level. And that's my brand is, as you understand, the land of empathy, which I think most religions are trying to get to, which is seeing everybody as yourself. I myself am talking about the same thing, right? Or love one another, understand each other. You don't have to agree. You know, there could be multiple sects, like, you know, multiple sects of a religion. They don't all agree, but they understand. At least I would hope that that's what they're trying to do. Because I'm not religious myself, right? I'm more spiritual, right? But the idea is we should be able to understand each other. You know, maybe she wanted to alter her body because she wasn't confident in her body, and she, you know, it might not be that she's trying to get a man or anything, or, you know, right? So we don't know. I don't know. You don't know. The only person that knows is her, right? And clearly she's made her decision on how she wants to go about it, and she's also expressed how she thinks about it. There's no judgment on my part. There should be no judgment on your part, because at the end of the day, it's not your life, it's her life. You know, if that life was so, if you had the better solution to it, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, would have given you that life, but they did not, right? The life is hers, so she gets to make that decision and live how she wants to live. I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section, of course. This is Real Talk, a land of empathy, the God of positive vibes, the boy almighty, right? So let's talk about it. Let's have a good discussion. And I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace and blessings.
Almighty push. Supposed to be doing it.
about that right now because I'm doing so many other things. So that's what I want to be known for, all of the great things that I do outside of it.